Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Tomorrowaday Farms. Today we're going to do Rosemary's minestrone soup. I am going to add a few extra vegetables to it just because I like to make sure that we're getting enough of those vegetables. Rosemary is one of our very first subscribers here on YouTube, and she's been with us since the very beginning. And she had a minestrone soup that I requested from her because I knew she would just have a good one. I'm just going to add a few more vegetables to it. But I'm going to pause you and get you over to this pot because we are going to can some of it, and then we're going to have some for supper as well. So I'm just going to get you guys paused, and we're going to talk about minestrone soup. Alright guys, let's talk about minestrone soup for a second. Minestrone soup is an Italian vegetable soup. I have known people to put meat in it. I stay away from that. I like to have a couple different vegetarian options on our shelf. You know, you're not feeling that great, but you want some soup with some texture to it. This is my go-to. This and the chickpea kale. Love having that on the shelf as well. Cody and I are already into that. But this is I have been trying to find a really good minestrone soup for Cody and I because we do enjoy it quite a bit. Everything like recipe-wise, I've always tried. It just didn't seem to fit the bill. So I asked Rosemary for her recipe, so this is hers. I'm just adding a few extra vegetables to it. Michael will not touch this soup with a 10-foot pole, so I have leftover roast beef and gravy and that so on, and I'm going to make him a beef and barley. It is raining here today, so you know what? He's getting some darn soup. I don't care. So I'm going to start by sweating off. I have my stove. I'm pretty low. I'm going to turn it up a bit. That's a couple good glugs of olive oil. And this is half of a sweet onion. The other half will go into the beef and barley. But yes, I am going to can the rest of this, but this is going to be our supper, so I'm going to put some in a separate pot for Cody and I, and then we'll can up the rest. So I'm going to get these sweating off, and then before I add the garlic, I'll bring you guys back. Alright guys, so that's pretty translucent for me. I am going to add a little bit of salt right now. This is just kosher salt. I always cook with kosher salt. Okay, I'm not going to add too much because we do first in, first out here. Ooh, you guys are... Ooh. Sorry, guys. First in, first out. So, my box stock was the first thing that I bought. So, that's what I'm going to use today. And I couldn't find the low sodium. But we just got word our town is going back into lockdown. So they've given us till Tuesday. So yeah, that's not good news. So Tuesday we're gonna hit the Amish farmers market. So see, because we need to get a couple things that I was planning on doing much later, but now it's kind of, we got to get it done now. So there's a little bit of black pepper. I am going to add some garlic now. I want it in that olive oil. Probably a good 2 or 3 cloves. Fresh garlic. If all you have is the jarred stuff in the olive oil, no worries. Because I got some of that in my pantry too. So now we're just going to start layering. I always go root vegetables first. So I have some of our homegrown celery. And I have the leaves as well. I think the leaves are super important for our immune system. And I am going to make a fair bit of soup here, guys. The rest will be for other soup, fresh carrots. And if all you have is frozen carrots, throw them in there. Don't be afraid to use what you got. And now those root vegetables are gonna sweat off. Might add a little more carrot, guys. I might have to cut some more carrots for Michael's soup, but there we go. I think that looks better. So we're gonna use some of our home canning as well. We're gonna use some yellow beans. I just want some beans in there. And I have my red kidney beans as well. I mean, I canned those back 2018. So I want to get them used up anyways. I want to do a bunch of fresh ones. Okay. Hang on a sec, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Michael lost Kiba. Okay. She's getting to know the lay of the land and she'll run in the forest. And she's still pretty tiny, so you got to kind of keep our eye on her. Alright. Because he's working in between rain. So, oh, here he comes again, guys. Sorry. One second. Okay, guys, sorry. So I just added some parsley in there. Okay. This is going to be a herbaceous style soup. And I have some Italiano seasoning. It's got a little bit of red chili flake in it. It's got just, if you've never had it, it's a really good spice. And if you don't know, if you go on Amazon for Canadians right now, this is oregano. Clubhouse spices. These ones here, guys. I'm going to pan you up here for a second. These ones here, all on sale. I have like an entire box full of spices now. They're like between $5 and $6. So if you can get on Amazon and you're Canadian, that is a fantastic deal. And we all know, you know, I mean, there's some that are more expensive, obviously, like smoked paprika was more expensive and stuff like that, obviously. But that's okay. And if you use it, and because they're getting rid, the thing said that they were getting rid of last year's stock, so hopefully the sale's still on, because I went back and ordered a couple more as well that I use quite frequently, like the Italiano. And but you add the spices that you like in your soup. This is going to sit here and perk all afternoon. We'll probably can this later on tonight after supper, possibly, where I'm going to see how done it is. Okay, so now they've all touched the heat now. I have 3 cans of diced tomatoes in their juice. Because that was my first thing. I'm not going to touch my canning till all this canned stuff is gone. I do have to keep some aside. I got to make more chili sauce. It's almost gone. So I got 3 cans of that. I'm just going to mix this around and turn up my heat just a touch. And there was bay leaves I threw in there. Oh, guys, I am so excited. And then I'll cook the pasta separately. I don't have any orgetti. I hope I said that right. It's just, I don't think I have any shelled pasta. Well, it's not shelled pasta in Italian. It's little ears. But I can't get that kind of stuff here. I have to make all that stuff fresh. Alright. So now, I don't want to add my beans just yet, my yellow beans, because I don't want them to go funny. This is like these root vegetables. I want these to cook. So I'm going to add the chicken stock now. And I am going to add some thyme to this as well. So I have 2 boxes. I'd much rather be using my home canned stuff, but like this stuff just looks like water to me. But I'm not a big fan of boxed soup broth or boxed broth at all, but it, in a pinch, right, it works out great. All right, so I'm just gonna get this up to a simmer, guys, and then I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Sorry guys, I added a little more crushed chili flakes. I'm gonna add a bunch of this basil that I dehydrated, because you need a good bunch. Fresh basil in here. And I'm just gonna kind of rip it. Take out that stem. I'm gonna add a little bit more. There we go. Take out that stem. Mix that around. I'm going to keep all my spices out because I may have to add some more. Oh yes. This is going to be so delicious, guys. I will probably add a couple cans of water to this. This is going to be some good eating tonight. Alright, like I said, now I'm going to let it come up to a simmer, and I'll bring you back when it does so. Alright guys, I'm going to add some kidney beans, slowly, because I kind of overfilled my pot a little. But look at those colors. I should be able to get this whole jar in here. These are rinsed. It's right to the top. Now I'm going to stir this for you. So you can see all those gorgeous colors. We're going to add the spinach. And let that get happy in there. Rinse out my container. That was just frozen spinach. There we go. There. It does need a bit of salt, so I am going to add that. And I think we're pretty good to go here. So what I think I'm going to do is can some of this now, and then it can sit in the jar and finish cooking, and then I'll put some to the side, like I said, for supper, and then that way it can just continue cooking on the back of the stove here while I'm pressure canning the rest of the soup. So I'm just going to let this chill out here for a little bit, and I'm going to get the salt intake right, and then I will bring you back when I'm ready to can. Alright guys, I got the salt fixed. I ended up adding another teaspoon. I also added a tablespoon of our dehydrated tomato skins here. We did this together. I'll leave a link to this video. And now I'm going to get us set up for canning, and I am going to get us going here. And Cody has decided he wants beef and barley soup for supper, so I'm just going to leave enough in this pot for just me. And then I'm going to eat this happily. I'm going to get you guys set up for canning. I'm so excited for supper. And yeah, we'll get canning this minestrone soup. Alrighty guys, just got to grab my ladle. So I am going to have to stir this each and every time. I want to make sure I get all that goodness in every jar. So I kept my spoon over here. So we're going to ladle some of this up. Oh yes. So all the vegetables will finish cooking in the pressure canning session. I am taking out the bay leaves as I see them. Make sure I spin that around pretty good there. To 1 inch headspace, guys. And we're just going to fill up the next jar here. Like some serious good eating, guys. But use what you got. I mean, if you don't, say you don't like spinach, then obviously don't put it in. But I do love some extra greens in my soup. And there is some big leaves of basil in there. So you are seeing some basil leaves in there as well. Yeah, so our town is going back into lockdown as of Wednesday of next week. We have 1 case here, that's it. But they don't want to take any chances. So, here we go again. I'm not over happy about it, but it is what it is, and when you live in these small towns, you know, 1 or 2 cases could be devastating to our town. So we'll see what happens. Because there's only 900 people here. So, you know, it wouldn't take much to really hurt the community, right? So alright, I'm going to finish this jar, and we're going to debubble. I have my canner on low because everything is hot. Oops, way too much in that one. And then we are going to get this debubbled. This is a great soup if you have lots of leftover veggies in your gardens. This is a great one to use up some of those vegetables. We are going to bubble that real well. So when I would open a jar of this, I would let it come up to boil, and then I would just add a little bit of pasta to it. Whatever you may have. And then you have a good meal going on. This was one of many. I probably have about 10 soups, 10, 15 soups I want to do this year. With everything that's going on, I want to try to keep our immune systems up pretty high. And soup is a great way to do that, and I don't have a whole lot of calories in there. Because I am trying to be super careful. So, that's funny. One is too. I'll keep those for dehydrating, I guess. Just gonna put these aside in my dehydrating bag because I don't trust them. Fingertip tight, guys, and into the canner. These will process for 90 minutes, okay? And if you wanted to put meat in it, you absolutely could. I just try to stick as traditional as I can for some soups. Alright guys, I'm going to do a couple more jars, get them in there, and then I'll bring you back when I bring it out. And then I'll also bring you back when I have the pasta in mine and everything else I put in it. Alright guys, we're going to pull them out of the can. Just going to scroll you up here a little bit. Here we go. The soup is done, and I have enough for me for supper. So I would just heat this up with some pasta and a little bit of Parmesan cheese, like Rosemary said to, because that sounds really good. And there we go. That's enough minestrone soup for us for the winter. That's awesome. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when we upload. And I will see you guys super soon. Bye.